and welcome back to another episode of Dum 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 Cook the Book. Woo, 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 woo. Today we are going to be making the mushroom sauce, which is actually part 2 of the meat borekas and mushroom sauce, or serving them with the Salisbury steak. Serve it on top of pasta, serve it on top of some chicken that you sear, add that on top, just stick that in the oven. It's just a really delicious mushroom sauce, so use it in whatever way you can. Just jump right in and get started. This is the meat borekas, the mushroom sauce. It is so easy. The meat goes into the puff pastry raw. You just add a little seasoning to it, egg the puff pastry, bake it, and that's it. The mushroom sauce is the harder part of the two, but still the only hard part is really cleaning and chopping the mushrooms. I have 6 cups of sliced assorted mushrooms here. Use whatever mushrooms you can find. In this pot, I actually have an onion and a half. The recipe only calls for 1 onion. An onion and a half because I need half an onion sauteed for my meat for the Salisbury steaks, sauteing stock back there. That is all you need to make this delicious mushrooms recipe. You will also need flour, garlic, black pepper, salt. Here's the salt, some dry white wine. I happen to have this open, the Kedem Sherry cooking wine. It's actually one of my favorite products. I love it. It adds so much flavor. And chicken. Take some out, add to my meat, then we'll drop in our mushroom. Not adding any salt to this because we're going to add in our mushrooms soon, and salt will draw out the moisture from the mushrooms too quickly and we won't get that good crispness that we need. So I'm just going to wait until this gets a little bit more golden. Tip for you, I really think this sauce is just that wonderful that I would probably double or even triple the recipe. Make a huge batch. I mean, you're sitting here cleaning the mushrooms anyways. What's an extra 20 minutes cleaning mushrooms? Get the job done. Double or triple the recipe. Portion so it freezes really, really well. Just defrost it in the fridge overnight, then put it in a pot on low heat to heat up slowly and gently so the bottom doesn't scorch, and that's it. You're all stocked up on mushroom sauce for quite a while. Them in pint size or quart size containers, and then if you want to make these Salisbury steaks and you just sear off the meat and pour the mushroom sauce on top, boom, dinner. Chicken cutlets, pour the mushroom sauce on top, boom, dinner. Meat borekas, boom, dinner. You know what I mean? Already my onion is looking good. I took out what I needed for the Salisbury steak. We're not really looking to put too much color on these. Just get them translucent, start the cooking process, bring out their sweetness. Go ahead and dump in your mushrooms. Keep in mind, this looks like a ton of mushrooms, but mushrooms like spinach disappear while they cook, literally before your eyes. They shrink, they're filled with water, and as the water cooks out and evaporates, they shrink to nothing. You could see the mushrooms have already started to cook down just in that minute. I just stirred them up. You don't want to over stir them because we're not looking to break them up and create mush. Just sort of let the heat do their thing. This is going to take about 12 to 15 minutes, and I'll see you soon. My mushrooms have cooked down. They are crispy. They are delicious. I am going in with my garlic. We just want that to become fragrant. Just literally 1 minute in the pan. Just get it on some heat so that the garlic is not raw. Okay, I added in my additional 2 tablespoons of olive oil, salt, and pepper. We just want to get that incorporated. We need the extra fat now to help build our roux, which is what is going to thicken the sauce and make it creamy and delicious. So now I'm going to take my flour and I'm going to sprinkle it over the top of the mushrooms. And this is a very essential step. Now, I see this a lot places, and it's really, really important that you don't do this. You are not just going to stir this like this for 1 second. Okay, get this incorporated and be like, okay, good to go, add my liquid. No. The flour is raw. It doesn't have a flavor. It doesn't have a good flavor. We need to bring out the nuttiness of the flour itself. So we're just going to constantly stir this so that it doesn't burn. But we are going to cook this for about a minute or 2 to make sure that the flour brings in as much flavor as it possibly can. So not only is it thickening our soup, but it's actually adding a flavor. Okay, there we go. Perfect. Now all of this goodness on the sides of the pan, all those bits on the bottom of the pan, we need to get those into our sauce. So we are going in with a 1/4 cup of your white wine or sherry wine, whatever wine you're using. And you are going to stir this up, and you are going to start scraping the pan. Once that's absorbed, which happens very quickly because it's not a huge amount, you are going to start adding in your chicken stock, not too much at a time. If your chicken stock is cold, I would suggest letting it come to room temperature or even heating it up slightly in a pot. There we go. Really get in there and scrape. We want all of those bits. Get the liquid up there, scrape it down. It comes off really easily. It's actually also part of your cleaning job, so it's like 2-in-1, flavor and cleaning. Oh my. Once you got that mixture incorporated and there's no like clumps of flour or anything like that, you can go ahead and add your remaining stock. Get that mixed up. Oh my gosh. It like immediately looks so good and smells so good from the wine, the garlic, the mushrooms, all the aromas. They're so powerful and delicious. I'm going to continue stirring this while it's coming to a boil to make sure that, you know, nothing sticks to the bottom. I wish I could show you the bottom of the pan, but I can't, but I could feel it. It's smooth and clean. All of those bits from the side have been incorporated. You could actually see them in the sauce. It's looking so delicious. The second this comes to a boil, I'm going to turn it off, set it aside, and then our mushroom sauce is done. You can let it cool at this point, portion it off, save it for your meat borekas, or use it for the Salisbury steak. Right, this sauce is ready. It has thickened up beautifully. Look at that. It is thick and creamy and delicious, and it's actually going to thicken as it cools a little bit now. I'm just going to set this aside, and I don't know why I just touched that pot, and we can get to making the... So Salisbury steak is traditionally just a hamburger kind of thing, but it's like pretty flat pounded and it's cooked in a creamy sauce and it's delicious. So that's why there's like the quotations, because I don't know if it's truly Salisbury steak, this version, but it's delicious and we loved it, so we're recreating it. In this pan, bowl, I have 1 kilo of chopped meat, which is 2.2 pounds of chopped meat. I have half an onion diced and sauteed. I have 3 cloves of finely minced garlic, half a teaspoon of coarsely cracked black pepper. I do like this on the pepperier side. I think it gives it more of that steaky feel, and half a teaspoon of kosher salt. That's it. I formed my meat mixture into like mini hamburgers here. I'll show you the size. I took about a golf ball size or maybe a drop smaller portion of chopped meat and I formed it into a patty. There you go. You could see the size. Fits like nicely right in the center of the palm of your hand. That's about how big it is. I have a pan here with 1 tablespoon of canola oil heating up so I can cook the burgers on both sides. Now we're going to cook these in shifts, so you're going to need an empty plate to put the cooked ones on, and then we're going to return them to the pan. Now you can use an oven safe pan if you want to, you know, save time. Or you can just, oh, that's not ready yet. Get that out. Come out. Or you can use a 9x13. Cook them, sear them, and then put the cooked ones in a 9. Let's try this again. Yes. There we go. This is what we want. Don't overcrowd the pan because we don't want them to steam. We want them to get a really, really nice crust on both sides. You're going to cook this on high heat. You don't have to worry about cooking it all the way through because we're going to anyway stick these into the oven with the sauce to finish cooking. So just super high heat, good crust on both sides. That's all you need to do right now. All my burgers are done. Like I said, this was 1 kilo of chopped meat, 2.2 pounds, and I made about 37 little burgers. I am going in now. I'm measuring the mushroom sauce for you. This is 2 cups to start. I'm gonna add a little, lovingly nudging my spatula in there. Just, you know, get those bits off from the bottom of the pan. Incorporate everything. Any juices that accumulated on the plate from the burgers, I incorporated back into the sauce. That's what you're. My gosh, look at that goodness. Okay, I went in with 3.5 to 1/4 cups of the mushroom sauce. Look at that, mixing with the juices from the hamburger. I'm just very gently mixing there. Now I'm going to cover this up, stick it in a 350-degree oven for about 35 to 40 minutes, and then that's it. Done. Leftover sauce, which is about 1.5 cups, or a 1.5 cups of sauce. First of all, look at how thick and gorgeous that is. I'm going to put in a container, and then for Shabbos, I'm going to take chicken cutlets, put them in a flour mixture, flour, salt, and pepper, dip them, shake them off, sear them in a pan, pour the mushroom sauce on top. Maybe I'll add a ladle of my chicken soup just to thin it out. Bake it covered. I'll add tons of fresh parsley when it comes out. Delicious.